Crime, Wine, and Chaos contains adult language and graphic content. Listener discretion is advised.
Here we go, Chaos Kids. I'm Naomi.
And I'm Amber, and this is Crime, Wine, and Chaos.
Chair dancing. We're doing the chair dance.
Oh my God. Doing the chair dance.
Oh. Hi, sister.
Hello.
Hello.
What's happening, Stuff?
Oh my goodness. So I had a dentist appointment first thing this morning.
Oh.
And I get them, I schedule them like almost as early. I think they open at 7, but that's like way too early. So I go in at like 8:00, get it out of the way, go to work. So I go in, it's just a routine cleaning. And like, I swear every time I go in there, because I go every 6 months, I swear every time I go in there, there's like a whole new batch of dental hygienists, right? And they're all like fresh out of like school. So I get in the chair, this gal's like 4.5 feet tall. She must weigh like 90 pounds and she's like 12 years old. She's super nice, right? She's super nice, like super perky. Okay. Like she is just happy to be there. And I get in the chair and I'm not even kidding you, Amber. She did like the fastest cleaning and flossing anyone has ever done on my teeth in a dental chair. And the whole time she's like, every time she like takes the little buffer thing like out of my mouth to go like get a little bit more of the weird bubblegum apple flavored toothpaste or whatever it is that they use, right? That's like weird and gritty. She goes to get more. And then when I open my mouth back up for her to go back in, she's like, "Thank you." And she goes, "Good job. Good job." She's telling me over and over I'm doing it. She said, "You're doing such a good job." And I swear to God, she was talking to me like I was 5 years old.
Shut
and
up.
she's like
Did you
12.
Get a sticker?
She did send me out with a goodie bag, and it's been a really long time since my dentist gave me a goodie bag. So I just had like the full pediatric dentist experience this morning.
Did you accidentally? Is it a new dentist? Is it an actual pediatric dentist? And you did an oopsie daisy?
It's the same dentist I've been going to for years.
Wow. Good for you. God. What a sunshiny dentist experience.
That was I did a really good job at the dentist this morning.
Good for you. You did a good job. I have the worst, maybe irrational fear of the dentist. I swear I'd rather have surgery than go to the dentist.
Seriously?
There's something about it that just terrifies me. I don't, oh my gosh.
That's so weird. Hate it. Do you not have like fond memories of Dr. Fong?
No, I do, but I just, for some reason, and this has never happened, but in my mind, I'm going to go in for a routine cleaning and it's going to turn into a full ass root canal.
Well, they'll just schedule you for that. They don't actually just go into a root canal.
No, I know that.
That's never happened in the history of dentistry.
I get so anxious. I hate it. So good for you. Good for you that you had a positive dentist experience. I love that for you.
Yeah, the dentist doesn't bother me. I was a little unnerved by my hygienist this time, but what about you? What's going on with you?
Thank you for asking. So what's going? Oh, I did. I'm extra tired because I did the open mic night last night at the Blue Moon.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was so fun. First off, I just love like the Seattle art scene and the sense of community and the positivity. Everyone is just so positive and encouraging.
That's awesome.
But and it's not necessarily musician night. It's just open mic night, right? So I was sitting with Michael and I was like, do you remember the movie She's All That with Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yes. Oh, so you had some slam poets up there and everything?
There was, I'm not even sure what was going on. It was like, there was some Be Silent, Be Still happening and some,
you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, yeah.
He stole my heart and my cat. Whoa, man.
That too. I was like, where have we landed? I love everything about this.
That's amazing.
So I did that, but that also meant, I was not home until after 10 and, I get up at 4 for work.
Right.
So I'm dragging a little today, but it was worth it. It was fun.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Mm-hmm. Hey, I feel like before we get into what you're drinking, we should talk about our Patreon.
Yes. We have got a Patreon.
We have a
Check it out.
Patreon, which technically it's existed for a long time, but we just haven't really talked about it because we were working on some things. We kind of talked about working on some things, and now we're ready to tell you what we're working on. And look, we're like, it's just the two of us trying to do the thing here. So we're doing the best we can, but we have set up the Chaos Kids Club level of Patreon, which is $5 a month. It's the only tier we have. We're not here to have like higher tiers than others. Everyone is a fucking chaos kid and everyone is in the club together for $5. And behind that wall, we have all the archived episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything that you do not see on your streaming service, you can go and listen to as a Chaos Kid Club member on the Patreon. And what else, Amber? What else are we doing for the Patreon?
Well, thank you for asking. What we're going to do is we're going to be releasing monthly bonus episodes. Yes.
Yes. Once a month, a bonus episode, exclusive.
Exclusives. And we are committed to, for every 10 new Chaos Kid Club members, hosting a virtual wine night with us truly. Do you say yours truly or us truly?
We truly. We three. We two truly.
We two, us truly. Where we'll just have a virtual hangout. We can talk about crime if we want to or not. Well, chaos if we want to or not. We can talk
about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we aren't going to schedule one until there's at least 10 of you in the club. And then every time we get 10 more, we'll have another one.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited about that. And you know, if this is successful and you guys are into it and you have suggestions of other things that you would like to be included in the Chaos Kids Club, let us know. And we're open to suggestions. And, you know, along the way, maybe we'll add more things. We're going to start slow, see what we can do and see how it goes. All right.
That's right.
So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I am too. I'm excited to finally meet some Chaos Kids.
That would be awesome.
Faces to names.
Yes. Rick, looking at you.
That'd be awesome. Here's looking at you, Rick. That's right.
So what are you drinking tonight, sister?
Okay. Well, I guess I could have intervened prior because I'm just drinking water.
What's happening? What is even happening?
You go right on and on. Like the drinking would be a big reveal, and I just have water.
This is like crime, sometimes wine, always chaos.
Okay. Well, that is correct.
Just to clarify, in case anyone was uncertain what was really going on here.
You know what? It's crime and a beverage of your choice and chaos.
I love that. I love that for you. I love that for me. I love that for our listeners. This is all working for me. So speaking of, do you have a crime for me? I asked like you don't. Like maybe the answer might be no. Because like
one of these days I'm just going to be like,
no.
Oh, I wasn't prepared for no. Oh.
I have nothing.
Then it's going to turn into some of the shit I saw last night where it was certainly freestyled. Okay. Once upon a time.
Love it.
All right. I've got one for you. I'm going to tell you about the stalking of Karen Welch.
Oh, no.
You know, I'm weirdly and maybe problematically fascinated and terrified more than anything about stalking. And so I find myself gravitating to that a lot.
Okay. I mean, I get it. We all have our morbid curiosities, right? No, I
think I want to understand, and it's not helping. It's just spiking my anxiety.
It's like me with like the group of psychotic teenagers. Like I get it. Like I can't. Yeah. No, I get
You're like,
it.
But why though?
But why? No, what's wrong with you? What is happening? Okay. Tell me about it. Tell me this stalking tale so I can not sleep tonight.
You're welcome. Okay. So Karen, she grew up in a small town called Moreau, New Jersey. As a high school student, she was on the honor roll and she was even homecoming queen one year.
Oh, wow.
She's just your all around American gal.
Okay.
After high school, she went to Lehigh College in Pennsylvania. And this is where she met Michael. And it was an instant connection. The two fell in love, and in November of 1989, they were married.
Okay.
3 years later, Karen gives birth to a son, but unfortunately, after 5 years of marriage, Karen and Michael separated. But it was a pretty amicable divorce. They both were just like, yeah, we're not in love with each other anymore. And Karen moved into, her new life as a single mom.
Okay. Been there, done that.
Same. Twice. Not married twice.
No, solidarity with Karen. That's all I'm saying. Got it.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So on Christmas Eve of 1997, it's 1:00 in the morning and her telephone rings.
What year is this? 97?
97.
Okay.
So this is landline times. And so she answers the phone, and the person on the other end was using like a voice changer similar to the one from the movie Scream.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Again, this comes up a lot too.
I hate those. No.
Okay. What's worse, the voice or the Scream mask?
The voice. The voice is worse. The voice is worse than the mask, for sure.
You know what? Here's a not fun fact about, I think it was Scream 2 with Jada Pinkett Smith for a hot second. And they're in the movie theater and she goes to the bathroom. Do you remember this scene?
Vaguely.
And she hears weird whispering in the stall next to her. So she presses her ear against. Talk about irrational fears. Is somebody being in the stall next to you, but like standing on the toilet so you don't know they're in there?
Oh my God. I have this like horror movie bathroom scene like idea, which is basically like you run from the killer, you run into the bathroom, you hide in the stall, but then your position gets given away by the automatic flusher.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Because that's what would actually happen.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I don't like public bathroom stalls. They're spooky.
Okay.
For all kinds of reasons. So anyway.
Voice changing thing, fucking creepy on her phone.
On her phone. And he's even, he's asking her, do you like scary movies?
Oh, wait a minute. It's 97. Is this post Scream?
Yeah.
Because what Scream was like 95 or something like that. Okay.
OG Scream. Yeah.
Okay. So this is like literally doing the Scream thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Fuck right off.
Seriously. The fuck out.
Yeah. So he asks her if she likes scary movies. He says, I do, and I'm watching you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. So Karen's son was spending the night at his dad's because it was Christmas Eve and it was his year. And she's home alone. It's 1:00 in the morning and she's freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. I'm freaked the fuck out. The story just started. Jesus Christ.
I know. So she is able to kind of calm herself down and convince herself that, it's just a prank. And she's able to kind of settle in for the night.
Okay.
After that Christmas Eve call, though, the calls just kept coming in. A lot of them were just hang-up calls. And she was getting between 10 and 12 calls a day.
For how long?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay.
No.
Karen. Oh.
Karen. So now she's super alarmed. She has no idea who's doing this. And the calls are coming from a blocked number because she tries to do the star 69 thing. And it doesn't give
star
her
69. For those who don't know, star 69 was what we did before we had caller ID. If you hit star 69, it would tell you or dial the number that called you. The last number that called your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kicking it old school.
Old school.
She doesn't even know if this is just one person or several different people. Like she has no idea.
Sure.
So she changes her phone number multiple times, but every time the caller seems to get her number again and the calls continue.
Fucking phone books.
Fucking yellow pages.
Seriously.
Oh my God. White pages.
Everybody's number was in the fucking phone book. You had to pay them not to publish your number.
Yeah, it should be the other way around.
Right.
So on a Sunday afternoon, it's around 3:00. Karen and her son are driving back from the mall when she realizes that there's a truck following them.
Oh, no.
And when Karen pulls into her townhouse, the truck pulls in right behind her and is like blocking her in to the driveway.
Oh my God, I would be so fucking freaked.
Yes. So she grabs her son and runs into the house and calls the police, but they don't really take it very seriously. And they tell her if anything else happens, just give them a call.
Just give us a call. Our detectives are in on Monday.
Yeah. Well, a thing just did happen and I'm giving you a call. Like what do you mean? Yeah. So these calls continue for 11 months.
Oh, I mean, this is the kind of thing that like makes you like mad Mad Hatter mad. Like this is crazy making, you know?
No shit. I mean, I think, robbing somebody of their peace in their own home, I think is particularly fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. 11 months. So sometimes they just hang up. Sometimes they talk to her in the creepy voice altering thing. And Karen still has no idea who this is. And she's just like unraveling. She's just a nervous wreck all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Ugh. So her friends finally convince her to go on vacation so that she can have some peace for a little while. So Karen and her son go to Florida. They go to Disney World. That is not my first place to find peace, but
that is not. Nope.
That's the opposite of peace.
There is no peace there.
If it starts with Disney, it doesn't end in peace.
Nope.
Nope. So they go and it's Karen's birthday. And after a day of fun, Karen and her son go back to their hotel room and the phone in her hotel room rings.
Stop it.
And when she picks up the phone, the caller says, "Happy birthday, Karen."
Oh my God. I just got chills.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Oh
I gave myself chills and I wrote that. I already knew it was coming and it scared me.
I know, right? It's so creepy. No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she's like, how the fuck did this person find me in Florida? Know that I'm in Florida, right? Oh, God.
Know that it's her birthday? Who the fuck is this?
Yeah. So now she realizes that, like, for a while she was thinking that it was just phone calls, but now she's pretty certain that whoever is calling is actually physically watching her too.
Well,
you know?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Christine, we're going to play Would You Rather on every episode now.
Would you rather know exactly who it is or not know who it is?
Okay, I don't want to get on too much of a tangent here, but you know, Stephen King has this book called Dance Macabre, and it's like the only book he's written that's nonfiction. It's basically his dissertation on horror. And he's got this part where he talks about how the scariest thing is the thing behind the door when you don't know what is behind the door, because our brains can always imagine something infinitely scarier than whatever it is once the door is opened and the scary thing is revealed. So I think I would rather know who it is than not know who it is. Because I think not knowing is scarier. Because if you don't know, it could be anyone. And then you suspect everyone. Is it her ex-husband? Is it an ex-boyfriend? Is it that guy that used to come through her fucking line at work? Is it someone she works with? And now everyone is suspect.
Yeah.
No one is trustworthy.
Ugh.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I want to know too. I mean, I don't, but I see.
Yeah.
I trust Stephen King. I'm going to go with that too.
Right.
Oh, so she calls the police, and they come to her hotel room, but the police are unable to trace the call because the stalker is using an unregistered prepaid cell phone.
Oh,
burner phone. I mean, what are we doing?
Yep.
So Karen's trying to think of people that are close to her or someone that she would know that would know that it was her birthday that would do this to her. But I mean, like who the fuck would that be?
Yeah.
So once Karen gets back to New Jersey, the stalking suddenly stops and Karen's finally able to relax and she believes that it is finally over and she can go back to her life. And 4 years go by of nothing.
Okay. Now you're freaking me out. Now you're really freaking me out.
Then one day she comes home and her screen door has been slashed and there's a nail still hanging in the screen. And there were footprints around her windows outside. So he obviously isn't done and he knows where she lives. And so Karen no longer feels safe in her home and she goes to the police again. And this time they direct her to a detective
Who comes in on Monday.
who comes in on Monday. So on Monday, the detective goes to her house. Fuck.
Right?
They go over there, they look at the damage to her property, but he's unable to offer her any help.
I'm shocked by that information.
So it's weird. Weird.
Yeah.
I fucking hate everything.
I know. I'm so fucking like anxious right now. Jesus.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And then the phone calls start happening again.
Oh,
And this
God.
time it's like 18 to 20 calls a day.
Oh my God.
Months go by and it just keeps coming in. And 12 years go by and it's still happening.
12 years after 4 years or 12 years after including the 4 years?
Including the 4 years.
But that's still 8 more years. And it's like daily, like 18 to 20 calls daily?
Yes. For 12 years.
And no one knows who it is.
And no one can help her.
I love you, but I need to pick up my monitor and throw it across the room right now, which means we'll have to stop recording.
That sounds like a difficult audio edit. Can you hold?
12 years!
12 years.
I am so enraged right now. She lost all her hair. She hasn't slept in 12 years. She doesn't eat. She has an ulcer. She has diarrhea.
To rob somebody of their she has diarrhea of their peace for 12 years.
12 years.
Okay. Do you think
also, what the fuck, motherfucker? Get a motherfucking life. Get a life.
Motherfucking life.
Who has this kind of time?
I don't know, but also I think just on like a physiological level, I don't think your body can actually handle being in like a fight or flight mode for 12 years. I would have to think that at some point that becomes like your new base level normal.
I don't even know what that.
You know what I mean?
I understand the words you're saying.
I don't understand.
I am speechless.
I am too. She still has no idea who this is. And she looks at every single person that she interacts with as potentially being this person.
What did I say?
Yep. Everyone who walks by her on the street, every new person she meets, everyone she works with. So she becomes a recluse and she's afraid to go out.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about this before too.
She's got like 5 deadbolts on every door that leaves her house.
See, I've never been through this, so I could be totally talking out my biscuits, but my inclination would be I would feel safer not being in my house.
I would seriously consider going on the run at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally. Like I live out of hotels and I just move across the country back and forth endlessly.
Oh my God, that sounds so fucking exhausting. This poor woman. So she even moved and changed jobs and her stalker would find her anyway.
Yep.
So there's nothing that she can do until she finds out who this is.
Yeah.
And then one day Karen gets a message on her answering machine from her stalker saying, "You're going to get yours."
Okay. She's not been getting hers this whole time. What?
I
what?
Don't know.
Like, just fucking kill me at this point. You know what? Just be done with me. Like, let's just get this over with now. This is very much like the call is coming in from inside the house. Like, right. Like,
fuck it. Yeah. There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah. Just fucking, just murder me.
Mm-hmm. So she's fucking terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And so she brings the answering machine tape to the detective, and this is their first tangible piece of evidence. So they start an investigation.
12
years later.
12 years.
I mean,
I can't.
Is it even the same detective? Did he retire and go into the light already in this time lapse?
This is a brand new detective. This is a baby detective, kind of like the baby corner.
Finished the academy. Yeah. God. So the detective tries to trace the call, but the stalker's been using blocked or prepaid cell phones for years, but this time he slipped up.
Oh. So he left a voicemail on a machine and slipped up and did not use a blocked number.
Correct. And they are able to link the number. So finally, on January 15th, 2010, the identity of Karen Stalker is finally revealed. And they tell Karen that her stalker has been 55-year-old Joe Pate.
Who the fuck is that?
Exactly. He is a married father and a well-respected member of the same community that Karen lives in, but she has never met him and doesn't know him at all.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Detectives suspect that he must have just seen her in the community and developed an obsession for her.
Oh my.
A fucking rando.
I was literally going to say that. Just some fucking rando? Like,
I mean, to think that this could happen to you because all you've done is what?
Existed.
Get your mail, take your garbage cans down. Yes.
This is literally the price women pay for existing. Yeah. She existed. That's what she did. That's what she's going to get. That's what she's going to get hers for being.
Yeah.
For being.
Yeah. For having the nerve to live in his community and being pretty. I mean, I don't fucking know.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
So what happened?
Oh, I'm going to tell you because it gets weird. So, Joe here gets wind that they are going to come and arrest him. And prior to the police being able to do that, Joe Pate duct taped himself to his shed in his backyard and lit the shed on fire, killing himself.
He duct taped himself to his shed?
Uh-huh.
What does that even mean? Like, how do you do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But he tortured himself to death after torturing Karen for 12 years.
Well, what could they have charged him with that would have been?
Well, they had a death threat, a recorded death threat.
Okay, but still, how much time would he have spent in jail for that?
I don't know.
Like 6 months and a fine?
I almost wonder if it had more to do with his identity being revealed than his
right, and like his whole like life being like flipped upside down because it would be found out that he was this absolute piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, well, and that he wouldn't be able to do it anymore. He's obviously obsessed with her, and his shtick is his, anonymity, and his whole game is up. A fucking rando.
And he duct taped himself to his shed. I just don't. Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. So, our girl Karen here, she ended up going to her state representatives to press for changes in stalking laws because prior to this, the New Jersey stalking law required a death threat to be made against an individual before charges could be lodged against a stalker. And after Karen's efforts and those of the baby detective, Ross Yenisey, amendments to the stalking laws were signed into law by Governor John Corzine in 2009. The changes expanded the stalking law to include conduct on the part of a stalker that causes 2019, that causes a reasonable person to fear for his or her safety or the safety of a third person or to suffer emotional distress.
Yeah. 12 years. I cannot wrap my brain around this story.
I can't either.
Like, I still have like residual anxiety from the whole thing.
I don't know what okay. What do you think is better and or worse? That she, because you're right. He might have gotten like 6 months and then who knows? Like, she never has to worry about him again.
I mean, look, I don't feel bad I don't feel bad about it. Like, I don't care about this guy.
But do you think but she also never got any answers as to what the fuck. So what? I mean,
And like, who did he leave behind? Was he married? Did he have kids?
yeah, he was married with kids.
Can you? I mean, can you? No. I mean,
No,
I know
I
you
can't imagine. No,
being
I
like his
can't.
wife or his kid.
Mm-mm.
That story is insane.
I know. I hate it.
Everything about it.
I hate everything about it. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And I couldn't find any more information after that because it's like, well, okay, he died, but did they still issue a search warrant on his house? Did he have like a Karen shrine? Like, what was going on in there?
Right. Was she the only one?
Uh-huh. Did his wife know? Like, how did he fucking do this? How did he know it was her birthday? How did, like,
what did he do for a living that he could just call her all day, every fucking day for years and years and years?
I don't know.
Yeah. How did he know what her birthday was?
I don't know.
How far was this stalking going? Did he go to Disney World? Did he
I feel
follow
like he
her?
did.
Was he the guy
feel
in the
like-
truck that pulled in behind her?
I don't know, but probably.
Maybe. We don't know.
Ew. Ew, I
don't
hate
know.
it.
We don't know.
I hate it. Nope.
Fucking
Mm-mm.
gross. Everything about that is
Gross.
just fucking gross.
Mm-hmm. Soup's gross. I hate
Oh
it.
my God. Try harder, do better, as the red-handed gals would say.
Yeah.
Wow, sister.
Mm.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts too.
Okay. Great.
Mhm.
Good talk. Do you need to take a break? Do anything before we dive into some chaos?
No. I figure my anxiety is at a 10. Let's just keep it there.
Okay. Well, this is not going to give you anxiety. I promise.
Okay, great. Thank
This
you.
is more fun time chaos than
I love fun time.
yeah, we're gonna do fun time chaos today. So we're gonna talk about the filming of the Island of Dr. Moreau. Do you know the story of the Island of Dr. Moreau?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's considered science fiction, although in my mind it borders on horror, much like Frankenstein. It's
Mhm.
written by H.G. Wells, and it's probably one of his most famous stories.
Okay.
So the story is told through the perspective of a shipwrecked man who is rescued by a passing boat and left on an island where Dr. Moreau, a mad scientist, creates human-like hybrid beings from animals by way of vivisection, which is just a way of saying experimental surgery on animals.
Ew.
Yeah, it's really gross. So the story is old. It was published in 1896. It's also been directly adapted to film at least 3 times. And today we're going back to the mid 90s. We keep going to the 90s lately.
Ooh.
Yeah,
A lot
right
of
in
shit
that.
going on there.
Yeah, right in that magical 5 minutes when it seemed like everything might possibly turn out all right, right? So, set to direct the film was an up-and-coming young horror director by the name of Richard Stanley. He was 29 at this time. And this was also a time when most horror directors were old dudes with bushy gray hair and beards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So
Totes.
Richard Stanley, he's originally from South Africa and had by that time directed the movies Hardware and Dust Devil, which are both considered cult classics. They were like low budge indie horror films.
Okay. Got it.
And Stanley is known for his long, straight, dark hair and his signature wide-brimmed hat.
Okay.
Stanley spent 4 years developing the project. He'd read the book as a really young child, and directing this film was basically a lifelong dream.
No.
So I went back and rewatched this documentary about this whole thing that I had watched years ago. It's called, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's called I have it in my notes somewhere. Anyway, it's a documentary about this whole story. And he is this like absolute character. Like the story is as much about the doomed shooting of this film as it is about Richard Stanley himself, because he's such a character, right? And he knows about like every adaptation of the book into film, official and unofficial, and he could talk extensively about H.G. Wells and his story and his life and his fallout with his friend who was also a writer who wrote Heart of Darkness, which he was mad about because he thought it was a direct ripoff of the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Shit.
So now this project gets picked up by New Line Cinema. right? He's going from indie darling to a major motion picture studio. Well, major as in New Line had a bunch of hit films. They weren't like Paramount or Universal. They didn't have those kind of budgets and stuff, but they were like a legit Hollywood studio, right?
Gotcha.
But then someone decides Marlon Brando should play Dr. Moreau.
Oh, shit.
And Stanley hears this through the grapevine, and also that he himself is going to be replaced to direct by Roman Polanski.
Oh.
Side note.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, side note, Polanski spent basically his entire life staying outside of the United States to avoid being arrested on a statutory rape charge because he's a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit. Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
was. Yeah. And his wife was a Manson victim.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's right. Anyway, so Stanley decides he gets to at least have a meeting with Brando about this, since it is Stanley's script. And they tell him that Brando isn't happy about that or him. And Stanley is pissed about all of it, obviously. So he gets this meeting, like Brando agrees to this meeting, and he's going to go to Brando's house to talk to him.
Oh.
And Stanley enlists a warlock named Skip.
Wait, what?
Yes. To perform some kind of ritual at the same time that he goes into this meeting to fix this situation and save Stanley's movie for him. And so they get to Brando's house, and there's a New Line like rep, like somebody from New Line goes with him, this gal. And she falls asleep during this meeting.
Okay, hold on. I've got several questions. Okay. Is the warlock at the meeting?
No, he's like halfway around the world. He's like in Ireland or
Okay,
the
but
UK or
his
something.
+1 falls asleep at the meeting.
Yes, she falls asleep during the meeting, and then Stanley and Brando have this like long, extensive conversation while she's dozing on the couch.
Okay, thanks for the help, +1. Okay.
And Brando walks away from that meeting telling New Line that he won't do the movie with anyone but Richard Stanley, and Stanley is convinced that it was the voodoo that fixed it. Skip made this woman fall asleep, put a spell on Marlon Brando, and made Marlon Brando fall in love with Richard Stanley.
Oh my God.
Okay, so now they have Brando, right? So they have Brando, huge name, but he's not a huge draw. They need like box office power, right? Enter Bruce Willis.
Oh.
Who was super into it. Super into it. So he signs on to be Shipwreck Guy, who's like the other main character, right? He's like the lead, because the whole story is told from his perspective. And then they get James Woods to play this Montgomery character, who's the only other human who lives on the island with Moreau and is like the doctor's right-hand man.
Gotcha.
So those are like your three main like human characters. So pre-production's in full swing. They're, working on costumes. They're still in LA pulling all that pre-pro stuff together, right? And Bruce Willis and Demi Moore start divorce proceedings, and Bruce bows out of the movie.
Oh, fuck.
Remember what a big deal it was when Bruce and Demi?
It was huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the mid-90s, It was the mid-90s. This was important stuff.
It was. Cue the warlock. Can he help in any way with this divorce proceeding? No?
Skip is not in the picture at this point. So
okay.
It was okay, though. It was okay, though, because Stanley met Val Kilmer.
Oh.
And Bruce was quickly replaced with one of the biggest movie stars at the time.
Shit.
Kilmer was just a few years off of Tombstone, and he was currently doing premieres for Batman Forever. So this was a big win.
Wow.
Although it did increase the film's budget dramatically. But Kilmer was also like kind of notoriously hard to deal with, and basically told them he was too busy to film as long as they wanted him for this leading role. He said he could do like 60% of the time that they asked of him.
Okay, Kilmer.
Yeah. So Stanley offered him the role of Montgomery, which would automatically reduce the amount of filming time while retaining Val Kilmer. But that also meant that James Woods was out.
Oh, he doesn't get bumped up to Shipwreck Guy?
No, James Woods is not Shipwreck Guy.
No. Okay.
So their next choice for leading man was Rob Morrow. And he was most famous for his leading role in the TV show Northern Exposure.
Oh.
Grandma Kitty loved that show.
Yeah.
She loved that show. It was set in Alaska, but it was actually filmed out in Roslyn, Washington, near Clay Elum. And the production office was right over here in Redmond.
Wow.
So, anyway, The shoot location for the movie was in Cairns, Australia, and this is like the absolute wettest spot on the entire continent on the northeastern corner. They were in a jungle rainforest.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Stanley shows up when they're starting to do, like, they've moved pre-production now to Australia to start building sets and stuff. And he shows up with his long black hair, a white Panama hat, a white linen suit, and a carpet bag, which was all the luggage he brought.
Stanley.
Yeah, he told someone at New Line that he was going to wear that hat and suit for the entire shoot.
It's like a good luck charm or something?
I don't even know. He is a character.
Stanley.
Remember, he's a character. So earlier, before they all headed off to Australia, there had been some small shoot days in LA. They had done like some kind of internal, like hospital scenes or whatever, just on location, like in LA. And there were some peeps at New Line who were on set, and they already had concerns about Stanley directing such a large production. So they did add a line in the budget of another like $1.5 million for a replacement director, just in case.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine they already having a plan B for your passion project? They couldn't just send him an assistant director to keep him in check.
They didn't send him an AD. It's so weird. It's just beginning. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay.
So like I said, a lot of people refer to this story as sci-fi, and earlier film adaptations really downplayed these humanoid animal creatures the Doctor created, right? They made them mostly humanoid. But Stanley is a horror director, and he was most interested in these animal creations. And he spent loads of time and creativity and money and energy on this supporting cast of like pig women and dog men and what have you. Okay. So much so that he even enlisted this dude, Peter Elliott, who famously handled the gorillas for the movie Gorillas in the Mist. Mm-hmm. And he worked for months with these extras on like making them act like animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Because this is like like CGI. These are people dressed up as animals.
Yes. We're talking like big time mamma jamma special effects makeup.
Fuck. Okay.
Right. So the costumes and the makeup, they were just insane and really disturbing.
Oh, God.
Which it's supposed to be. And that's exactly what Stanley was going for. He had this vision, right? He had this vision. Now, at this point, they've been in pre-production for months. They're building sets and they're making these elaborate costumes. And, they got to like do like those body mapping, like pores where they get the dimensions of the body with the plaster like and stuff.
Casting.
Yeah, they do casting on the bodies and stuff to like make the costume so that they fit people exactly. And filming is looming and a series of weird mishaps begin.
Uh-oh.
Stanley's production assistant gets bit by a poisonous spider that melts her skin.
Shut the fuck up.
And it's incurable. I don't even know what happened to her after that.
This is in Australia, right?
Yeah, where everything wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And the spiders are the size of your face.
Well, some of them bigger.
Fuck. Oh, God.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then Skip, you remember Stanley's warlock.
Warlock, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he's also a biochemist.
Sure. Mm-hmm. As they are.
He ends up in the hospital because his bones have started to deteriorate from irradiation from his laboratory.
What?
Yeah. And while he's in the hospital, he gets necrotizing fasciitis, which is the flesh-eating bacteria. And during this hospital stay, all of his fixes come undone. That's what Richard Stanley says.
Oh. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So Stanley calls his mom, who is also a believer in the occult and had utilized Skip's services. And her house had been struck by lightning.
What?
Yeah, like lightning balls like came through her house. And she told Stanley that right before that happened, her neighbors claimed that they saw a hyena run across the road. In Ireland?
Wait, what?
Yes. And he said that as she's telling him this, he's on the phone with her. He realizes that the place where he is staying in Australia and calling his mom from had hyena wallpaper, and the hyenas were looking at him with a hungry look in their eyes.
I can't.
You have to watch this documentary. I am literally just giving you the highlights right now.
Oh my God. Uh-huh.
Okay. So then things with Kilmer got tense. It started with the script read, like the very first script read, and it just never stopped. Constant disagreements between Stanley and Kilmer about all kinds of things. And shooting begins, and it's just a tug of war for power between these two. And the thing is, Kilmer is the draw. He is the star, and he knows this. Anyone can be the director, but they gotta keep Val Kilmer so they can try like hell to make back all the money that they sank into this movie paying for Val Kilmer.
That's a real stupid business plan. Okay.
This is Hollywood. This is Hollywood. So it's like second or third day of shooting and the rains came. And the water in the creek near the outside portions of the set, which is most of the set, are rising and rising. And now pieces of the set are like floating out into the Pacific.
Oh, no.
And Brando isn't here yet.
What's he doing?
Well, right before filming started, he was on the set of another film. He was supposed to wrap on that film and head straight to Dr. Moreau when his daughter died by suicide.
Oh, no.
And the movie that he was in the middle of filming shut down and it was never finished.
Oh, God.
And Brando was still like a big question mark for the Dr. Moreau film at this point. The only sets they had that were inside and dry were the doctor's house and the laboratory, and they couldn't film any of those scenes because they had no doctor.
Shit.
So what they had been trying to film that day were the boat scenes and the shipwreck stuff, mostly because it didn't involve the doctor. So Rob Morrow is in the boat, which is being beaten by the storm, and he's on like a satellite phone to his agent in LA. We're on day like 3 or 4. He's screaming to his agent, like, get me the fuck off this fucking movie.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. By all accounts, Stanley was just over his head and out of his element and kind of completely useless.
Oh, Stanley.
I know. And so on like day 3 or 4 of actual shooting, Stanley was fired from his film.
Oh, Stanley.
New Line offered to pay him his full fee with the stipulation that if the production was revived, he was not to come within 40 kilometers of the location.
He got a restraining order against his own project?
Basically.
Oh, no. They slapped him with a restraining order?
One of the production crew was instructed to take Stanley to the airport and make sure he got on the plane to leave.
Oh, my God.
So dude dropped Stanley off at the airport on time to make his plane. But the next morning, this dude gets a call from someone in LA, I think, asking, where the hell is Richard Stanley?
Stop it. He didn't walk him all the way to the gate, did he?
No, he did
came
not.
back?
Well, there was some real concern from New Line that Stanley would try to sabotage the production in some way. There's a rumor that he may have put some kind of curse on the filming location with the help of some of his new Aboriginal friends.
What?
He'd made friends with a bunch of Aboriginals in the area of the shoot.
Oh, my God. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
With his new Aboriginal friends. Well,
no one ever said anything about Richard Stanley not being a really great person. Everybody liked him just fine.
I love everything about this.
Yeah, no, he's great. So production shut down for a couple of weeks and the cast and crew kind of just hung out. They fixed the sets and they kept working on props, and New Line was still a smallish studio. So they didn't have the kind of money that meant they could just walk away from this shit. They already had millions sunk into it. So John Frankenheimer to the rescue.
Who's that?
Sort of. He'd been around a long time. He was kind of an older dude. He'd had some successes, but it had been a while. He'd also had some flops. He was kind of a, middle of the road guy. And New Line didn't really care because no one else they asked would take on this doomed production. And Frankenheimer said he would do it.
Okay.
He was basically a tyrant who didn't want to be there. He only took the job because he had negotiated a 3-movie deal with New Line. And of course, Marlon Brando. Everyone wanted to work with Brando.
Yeah.
Almost everyone in the documentary said the same thing about Frankenheimer. He screamed at everyone and called people names and was just a total dick.
God.
So Brando, for his part, was weeks late to show up at the set. I mean, at least he actually showed up. Boy, did he show up.
Uh-oh.
The first time the actors saw him was when he rolled on set in a throne, basically, in the back of like a Jeep.
I'm sorry, what?
And he's wearing like, this is for like a scene in the movie. And he's in
okay.
character. And he's wearing like a bunch of thin white linen wrapped around himself like a diaper.
Oh no.
And like a robe. It's all white.
Uh-huh.
And he had painted his face all white. And he's bald, right? And he's got this weird hat and this thin white linen fabric draped over the hat, like kind of almost like a veil, and like white gloves with these huge black sunglasses and a cane.
Is this his interpretation of the character?
Yeah, he came up with this costume and persona for the Doctor all on his own.
Oh, he did this all on his own.
He did this all on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, Brando turns to one of the crew and says it would be even better if he had a bunch of peacock feathers fanning out behind him. And instantly, another guy on the crew hops in a car and speeds off in the middle of nowhere because they're in the jungle, presumably to find peacock feathers.
He's going to go pluck a peacock?
Well, like 20 minutes later, the guy comes back with a bunch of peacock feathers. He said he remembered seeing a peacock on a farm nearby, so he drove out there, jumped on the peacock, and just ripped a bunch of his feathers out.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Rude. Poor peacock. Okay.
I know. So Brando would show up on set at like 9 a.m. and go straight into his trailer. Frankenheimer would go in there with him. They would be in there for hours while everybody's just like standing around. Like
waiting?
Yes. And then they would emerge just before lunch to like walk around the set, like nonchalantly stroll around while Brando decreed changes to the scene they were going to shoot. And like, no one says no to Brando, right? So at some point he says he wants an ice bucket on his head to keep his head cool. He thinks that that's what the Doctor would do. So someone found a pot or something and they cut out the bottom of it. So it's like a tube now. And they put it on his head like a hat. And then one of the actors in the scenes with him was literally like putting ice inside this bucket that's like sitting on top of his head.
What? What is going on?
Yes.
I can't.
And Brando
Are you fucking with me?
No, this is all true. Brando would never learn his lines. So his assistant would read his lines to him from his trailer, like into a little earpiece that he wore.
What exactly is Brando bringing to the table?
Right?
That's my question.
I know. Right?
Okay.
The head of New Line said he got a call from someone on the set who was all, I know you don't know me, but I felt like I needed to call you to let you know that this is a fucking shit show down here. And I have worked with some difficult actors, but no one like Marlon Brando. I was driving him and he tells me to stop the car and he says to me, let's fuck this production up. New Line doesn't know what they're doing. Let's shut down production for a few weeks, rewrite the script, make Dr. Moreau wear a hat all the time. And then at the end of the movie, he takes off his hat and it turns out he was a dolphin the whole time.
What?
Yeah.
You can't hide dolphinness under a hat. What does he mean?
I don't know.
Oh my God. What is going on? Why does he want something on his head all the time?
Oh my God. It just gets worse. Okay. So.
No.
All right.
What the fuck is going on?
So in the Richard Stanley phase of the production months prior, someone had found out about the smallest man in the world. His name was Nelson de la Rosa. And when I say smallest man, I mean he was 17 inches tall.
Okay. Hold on. That was a hard pivot that I wasn't ready for. Someone just found out about the smallest man in the world? How?
Yep.
Because they're Googling from the Australian
No, I mean, this
jungle?
is the mid-90s. There's no Google yet.
I know. How did, just talk
I don't
around
know.
the water cooler?
I don't know how they found out about him. He was originally, they just think like that guy is like, that's interesting. Like, let's get him to be like one of these like hybrid creatures or whatever. So they go and they get this kid or this dude. He's like 29.
He in Willow
he's like,
with Val?
No, he's not in Willow. He is
Okay,
smaller than those small people.
Okay.
He is this, he's like this tall, Amber.
Like Tom Thumb.
Yeah. So they're going to make him an animal creature. And his makeup was like, I don't even know how to describe it. He wasn't a hybrid animal. He just looked more like kind of just generally deformed and like horror. I mean, they did weird shit to him. They put makeup and special effects like all over him. So his body was weird. His face was weird. They did weird things to his ear. He was bald and with this weird pointy nose. I'll include pictures.
Oh, please do.
Oh, you're going to die. Okay. So anyway, Brando fell in love with this dude and he decided that Nelson would be next to him in all his scenes.
A mini-me.
Well, not only that, Nelson's costume in any given scene would be an exact match to whatever Brando's costume was in that scene. It was so strange and memorable. It literally did inspire Mini-Me. That is literally where Michael Myers got the idea for Mini-Me and a ton of parodies after that. It came from this film, from Marlon Brando and Nelson De La Rosa dressed up identical to Marlon Brando in every scene in this film.
That's funny. I was joking.
I know.
Okay.
So although Brando was a pain in the ass, he was really nice and respectful about it. No one had anything bad to say about him personally, right? Kilmer, on the other hand, was described as a prep school bully.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. He fucked with the crew. He intimidated his fellow actors. Brando did not like him. And Kilmer didn't like Brando for not liking him.
Okay. Look inward, Kilmer.
Right?
Jeez.
Frankenheimer didn't like Kilmer either. He famously said, if I was directing a film called The Life of Val Kilmer, I wouldn't have that prick in it.
Holy shit.
No one liked each other.
Great.
Yeah. So one night, it was a late call night shoot, and the crew and the extras are sitting around. They're all in their crazy fucking, hardcore makeup, right? Waiting for Brando and Kilmer to come out for the shoot, only to finally hear that Brando won't come out of his trailer until Kilmer comes out of his. And Kilmer won't come out of his trailer until Brando comes out of his.
These are grown-ass men.
Yes.
That are stomping their feet.
Yes, being paid a lot of money.
No shit.
And you got to understand, the other actors and extras are all in this heavy-duty special effects makeup and shit. The makeup and effects artists are spending hours and hours to get these animal freak shows all ready to shoot, only to have them sit around all day in these tents under the sun, and a lot of times not even be filmed at all.
Oh, God, that sounds miserable.
Right?
Can Mini-Me have a talking to Brando and help?
I don't think so. He was kind of a weird dude.
Oh, okay.
All this time, the cast and crew is being put up in a really nice hotel, given a really generous per diem that they are all spending on nonsense and toys. And they're all just getting drunk and high and having a bunch of sex and partying. Kind of like, I don't know, the Olympic, whatever they call it, Olympic Village, with breaks in between to like go on set, get into their complicated costumes and do some madness that wasn't even scripted because Brando.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when Frankenheimer first showed up on set, there were like 10 extras or something. And he tells that animal expert guy, Elliot, I need 100 extras.
Oh.
So a casting call goes out locally looking for, like, they described it as hippies or people with amputations or anyone who they could turn into these strange animal human monsters.
Okay, wait a minute.
This is literally how it was described.
They're in Australia in a jungle.
Yes.
And they put out a casting call for amputees.
Yes.
That's really specific. What?
Well, okay. They end up finding this huge group of hippies that were out there living in the jungle. Like commune stuff. They're like dreadlocks, no bath, right? Covered in tattoos and piercings. They were like fire eaters and stilt walkers. And they were all on acid. And they showed up with their guitars and shit and joined the cast. So all this time, Richard Stanley was just hanging out on some farm not that far away, like smoking weed.
I forgot about him. He never turned up.
He's smoking weed and rambling on about how Val Kilmer ruined his life.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
So a couple of the crew found this out and they went out there and they got him and they brought him back to one of the crew houses secretly because he was still negotiating that deal with New Line. So he wasn't supposed to be anywhere near there. And he wanted to make sure he got that money, right? But he really wanted to get on set. He wanted to see what was going on. So he borrowed one of the animal costumes and he got in the van with a bunch of other extras, and they all smoked a big fat joint and went to the set.
Shut up.
And he spent the day there and fucking filmed as an extra.
Oh my God.
But he didn't pull off any sabotage. No sabotage went down.
No.
But there's actual footage that they pointed out in the film where they're like, there he is. That's him right there. And that mask is him. He's in the movie.
Holy
as an extra.
Shit. That's awesome.
Yeah. When all was said and done, the film lost money. Not as much as if they had canceled it, but still. Rotten Tomatoes currently rates the film with a 22%. In an article written upon Brando's death in 2004, critic Roger Ebert described The Island of Dr. Moreau as, quote, perhaps Brando's worst film. The Island of Dr. Moreau later received 6 nominations for the Razzie Awards, which is the opposite of the Oscars, including Worst Picture and Worst Director, winning Worst Supporting Actor for Marlon Brando. Val Kilmer was also a nominee in this category.
Good for him.
At the 1996 Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, Brando was nominated for Worst On-Screen Hairstyle, which he lost to Stephen Baldwin for Biodome, and won Worst Supporting Actor. As for Richard Stanley, he didn't make another film for 23 years after that.
Wow.
Color Out of Space, starring one of the most prolific actors in Hollywood, none other than Nicolas Cage, was released in 2019. It gets a 6.2 on IMDb, which is actually pretty good for IMDb.
Yeah.
However, allegations of horrific domestic abuse by Stanley's ex-partner prompted Spectrovision, the studio that financed the film, to drop him from their payroll and issue a statement that any future revenue from the film would be donated to charities devoted to stopping domestic violence.
Oh, man. Stanley, what the fuck?
Yeah, Richard Stanley, everybody. So,
lame.
Sissy, that is the story of the filming of the 1996 film adaptation of The Island of Dr. Moreau.
What? I don't have words. I don't have any words for that.
I really do recommend the documentary. It's really good. It's from 2014. You can watch it for free with commercials on Prime, or you can rent it for like $3. It is a good doc. It's a way better documentary than that movie ever could be.
Well, no shit. Oh my God. I fucking loved everything about that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Oh
You're
my God.
so welcome.
Oh my God. That might be the weirdest story I've ever heard.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up.
No.
Wow.
You cannot. You cannot.
I liked when you just like right out of left field, tiniest man in the world, right? Just here he comes. What the fuck? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything. I love everything. But he's
everything.
About that.
He's everything.
Oh, yeah. That's Wow. Well, thank you for that. I'm kind of speechless.
It kind of makes me want to go watch the movie because I'm wondering, I don't think I ever actually saw the film, but it makes me want to go watch it just to see.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. I need to see.
You do.
These photos.
You need to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I fucking love it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Sissy.
Oh my God. Do you have anything else?
Well, no, I mean, obviously we want people to go join the Chaos Kids Club on the Patreon. I'm sure you'll link to that in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Should not be hard to find. Obviously, we're on all the socials. You can find us on the Facebook and on the Insta and on the Twitters, Crime, Wine, and Chaos. You can send us you can send Amber love letters. You can send me hate mail, but they have to go to the same account. It is crimewineandchaos@gmail.com. You can follow me on the Twitters at Misnomers. All this will be in the notes. We're easy to find.
You can follow my band on all the music platforms.
Yes,
Tinfoil Top Hat.
Tinfoil Top Hat. 100%. Do it. Go. Follow. Well, Sissy, I love you.
Love you. Thank you so
And
much for that story.
you're so welcome. We needed
It
that
was
today.
Yeah.
We needed that today after
was
the Karen story. Yeah.
Oh
100%.
God. Yeah.
Well, I think I delivered. That was fun. That was amazing. And that was
Was
chaotic.
Nice.
Bye.
Crime, Wine, and Chaos is produced by 8th Direction Records. Artwork by Joshua M. Davis. Music by Paul Abner. If you would like to support the show, you can visit our Patreon page at crimewineandchaos.com/Patreon. Cheers!
We truly, we three, we two truly